Meeting to order. Ms. LeBeau, can you lead us in the pledge while I'm in this house?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, can you call the roll, please? Mr. Lachalay?
Here.
Ms. Mason? Here. Mr. Lejeune?
Here.
Mr. Hidalgo?
Here.
Mr. Bergeron?
Here.
Ms. LeBeau? Here. Ms. Trahan? Absent. Mr. Edmond? Absent. Mr. Davidson?
Here.
All right, thank you. Moving into information items, we have the review of the 2026-2027 budget recap and timeline. Mr. Mouton?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So this is the third special board meeting. So far, all of the budgets have been presented to you in the previous special board meetings, with the exception of the group health insurance fund, which is presented to you today. And also, we have revised the general fund at the request of the board's recent vote as well from the previous special board meeting. If all goes well today, we will proceed and begin advertisements on April 30th, which segues into roughly a two-week inspection period. And we'll be back on May 14th for a public hearing at 4:30 with the adoption held at 5 o'clock p.m. So if you have any questions, we can proceed with the agenda items.
All right, thank you. Do I need to read each item first? Correct? Read each item. Okay, thank you. All right, we're on the consent agenda. Item 3.1, discussion and/or action concerning the proposed budget for 2026-2027 Special Revenue Fund. Item 3.2, discussion and/or action concerning the proposed budget for 2026-2027 Capital Improvements Funds. Item 3.3, discussion and/or action concerning the proposed budget for 2026-2027 Self-Funded Construction Fund. Item 3.4, discussion and/or action concerning the proposed budget for 2026-2027 2025 Bond Construction Fund. Item 3.5, discussion and/or action concerning the proposed budget for 2026-2027 2025A Bond Construction Fund. Item 3.6, discussion and/or action concerning the proposed budget for 2026-2027 Group Insurance Fund. Item 3.7, discussion and/or action concerning the proposed budget for 2026-2027 School Food Services Fund. 3.8, discussion and/or action concerning the proposed budget for 2026-2027 Combined Sales Tax Fund. Item 3.9, discussion and/or action concerning the proposed budget for 2026-2027 2002 Sales Tax Fund. Item 3.10, discussion and/or action concerning the proposed budget for 2026-2027 Debt Service Fund. Item 3.11, discussion and/or action concerning the proposed 2026-2027 General Fund Budget Summary, Projected Revenues, Expenditures, and Cost Centers. Item 3.12, approval of all action consent items.
Madam President, I ask that the board approve all action consent items with the exception of any items pulled.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Mr. Bergeron and a second by Mr. Lachalay. Do we have any public comment? And just to be clear, we're going to stick to the items on the agenda. Yes, and also state the item that you're speaking on. If you're for or against, thank you.
I think I have a couple items.
You're going to have to state your name, ma'am.
Suzanne Lagenet. I have a couple items to speak on, so how does that work? Is it one agenda item at a time you want to speak on, or?
You're speaking on all the items on the agenda?
Not all of them, just a few of them.
Say which one you're speaking about.
But that's what I'm trying to get clarification on. Is it
Speak about
one
the
item and then we come back for the next item?
Nope. Speak about your item.
So the open meetings law says that you get to speak about each agenda item.
Speak about your item. Go ahead.
Okay. 3.2. I have a question about the superintendent special projects and the HVAC equipment and replacement project. What constitutes superintendent projects? What specific projects are in that category? And what total funding is being allocated to each of these projects? It's all grouped into one. Second, regarding the HVAC equipment and replacement, there are significant capital expenditures, including tangible equipment. Will these projects be formally bid out in accordance with public bid laws or be categorized underneath professional services? There's great concern that it's just going to be categorized underneath professional services, especially whenever our vendor Star donates to almost all of your campaigns except Edmund Drahan, Mr. Davidson.
Ma'am, which item are you speaking about?
3.2.
Okay.
I'd argue that we definitely need to bid out on the installation of equipment such as HVAC, since it typically includes and involves materials. With the superintendent's budget, I'd like to hope that y'all would take into consideration reallocating those funds to cover some of the insurance that's negative $9,000 and help alleviate some of the increased premiums that you all just imposed on some of our teachers, employees, and retirees before any undisclosed budget is just grouped into a special budget fund. So that's it on 3.2. Do I need to, like other people?
You can speak about whatever item you want.
Okay. So 3.3, the special construction fund. I'm asking about that. I'm trying to understand how are these items approved, especially whenever a lot of it includes salaries and payrolls, and the 26-27 payroll schedule has not even been made yet available for public review. Public payroll is funded by taxpayers, and transparency is not even optional on this stage because we can't even see the salary schedule. How can we ask meaningful questions and have meaningful conversation and discussion without the scheduled payroll being made available for all to view? Additionally, there's visible inconsistencies that raise concerns, such as if you look and compare the budget lines to previous salary schedules, the excessive tenures being assigned in ways that don't appear to align with actual years of services. How are we just classifying these numbers and approving them? This is not minor details, and they directly impact compensation and long-term financial obligation and transparency to the community and the public taxpayers. When budget items of this magnitude are grouped into consent agendas without
Thank
explanations.
you, ma'am. You can wrap it up.
Okay, so the law says we're allowed to speak on each agenda item. 4215A.
I'm going to pass this to the attorney.
Yes, ma'am, this is a consent agenda, so it's the approval of the consent agenda is the action item.
And the law still states we get to speak on each agenda item.
That is the agenda item, ma'am. It's
A consent
approval of
agenda,
consent.
that's 12. This is not 3.1, this is 3.1 through 3.12. Each point is a different agenda item.
All of them have been moved to be voted on in one action, so there's one public comment period now. You get 3 minutes.
Of course, I want public transparency.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Ms. Landry.
Hi, I'm Katie Landry, and I'm here to discuss the budget, I guess, or concerns with the budget. My first concern is there are many claims that have not been paid by Meritain. And if you check the reviews, the national reviews, which I'm surprised staff and consultants did not, but they're known for delayed claims, even on very simple claims. And they're also known as having very poor customer service, and some of our members have found that. And I'm sorry to present it now. I think the board needs to know it, because the meetings I've been at, y'all been told it's been a seamless transition from Meritain to Blue Cross. I'm here to tell you it has not. And as a board, you should know that. There are a lot of people out there, even dealing with chemo, and I'm not going to get into those. But my question is, with so many delayed claims, and we were promised it would be the exact same plan, same coverage, and it would be cheaper, but we're projecting a deficit. How can we project a deficit when claims, most of the claims from January to April have not been paid? I mean, I checked last week, I had 15 claims not paid, and they were not complicated. I'm not the only one. So I guess, first of all, I question why the budget is on a consent agenda. Never has been before, to my knowledge. I mean, this is one opportunity the public has for input. You guys were elected to represent your constituents and your concerns. You're a means of checks and balances. You know, and if there are no checks and balances, an organization begins to implode from within. I'm not saying that's happening, but guys, you've been under a lot of scrutiny right now. How can you do an insurance budget? And, you know, maybe you can inform me. But I'm concerned with all of the concerns that I've heard about our insurance. People with chemo, life and death, being told, well, you'll have to wait 5 days to see if we're going to approve it. Just anything. I mean, this is not what we were promised. And I guess I'm concerned about a deficit again when we were told we probably will have a surplus, is what I was told. You know, and you ask us to trust us. And we did trust you guys for 3 months to straighten out. We knew there were problems. We did not say one word at an insurance committee meeting, which we don't have anymore, and we're not allowed to speak. We have not said anything in a full board meeting, giving staff an opportunity to figure out the problems. Just this week, some people got 4 new cards from Maritime. You know, we tried to work with you guys. I know y'all don't see it that way, but this kind of stuff causes a lack of trust among the public. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Landry. Is there anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to the board. Any board comment? Yes, Mr. Brett Lashley.
Ms. Gardner, can you answer Ms. Landry's question? Can you elaborate on what her concerns and let us know what's going on?
I'll do my best. I think Ms. Trish LaBeouf is in the audience also.
She is? I'm sorry. Okay, Ms. Trish, or
Yes, can we have Gallagher,
Or Gallagher.
our consultant? Thank you. Sorry. Thank you.
I mean, Ms. Landry, just because it's on the consent agenda doesn't mean we can't talk about it.
I understand.
Yeah, no.
Otherwise, there would have been no discussion. Thank you.
I'm gonna get them to address it right now.
All right, can you, I'm gonna assume the claims about unpaid claims is what you're most concerned about, Ms. Landry? Is that your main question?
Yes.
Okay.
And,
The delay in,
Customer service.
Madam President,
yes,
and the deficit.
Okay, yes,
We
the-
have a surplus.
projected deficit, budget concern, and claims not paid from April to January.
Give us a little short state of the union, if you don't mind.
This is under,
3 point,
no, it's,
which one is it, Ms. Landry?
Your insurance budget.
Which one is that?
3.6.
3.6, okay.
All right, thank you.
So we're talking on 3.6 for the audience and for the record.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. This is Melody Terrell. Thank you for allowing us to speak this evening. I have Kim Briard. I feel like if I've missed something, please hop in. I'm not going to start by, let me just say transitions to TPAs are very, very difficult. In the first couple of months, or even the most difficult. What the TPA does is they have to get data from the previous TPA, they have to get claims information, they have to make sure that they're processing the claims correctly, they do test runs. There was a problem on some of the retirees, coordination of benefits provisions, and we believe that that's probably the biggest problem that we're hearing from the people today. There was a promise that the claims would be processed just like Blue Cross. There was a promise that the benefits wouldn't change. During those tests and implementation conversations and reviewing all of the contracts, it appeared as though Blue Cross was processing claims differently than the actual plan document. So we had to sort that out. We had to hold claims, not we had to hold claims, Meritain had to hold claims until they could get a determination as to how those claims should be paid, and they had to build new plans to be able to process them like Blue Cross did. So there was a delay in getting information from Blue and ensuring that the claims were going to be processed correctly. There aren't any, those claims that were processed incorrectly, notifications went to those providers to tell them what had happened, that there was an error, please delay and balance billing retirees. We also went through Verity, which was the majority of the claims were through the Verity network, and they reached out to each provider to ensure that the claims would be processed. There's about 300 providers who were affected by this problem. Those claims, unfortunately, have to be processed manually. It's going to take 56 days to get all those claims processed. But again, the providers are aware of the problem, and the claims will be processed the way that they were with Blue Cross. So from an administrative perspective, I would say that that's been the biggest hiccup. I would say that in the last few weeks, because so many claims now have been processed and the providers have been paid, it's very typical to get a huge influx of people maybe not understanding the EOBs, trying to make sure that the claims were processed correctly, going back to the providers, et cetera, et cetera. As much as people may not like this, this was one of the better installs that we've seen in years. And I think it was because we had adequate enough time and a runway to prepare for the change from Blue Cross to Meritain. But it's a huge endeavor.
Madam President,
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Washley.
I take it personal, because when Miss Landry said she trusted us, she trusted me. I'm going to fill you in. She was my history teacher. That's my teachers. Okay, these are the people who were in it for the outcome, not the income. Oh Lord, Miss Landry, I'm the outcome. You see what I'm saying? So when she's saying she trusted, it was me. Okay, so I'm going to take this personal. What I would like, I'll ask the superintendent, staff, our board president. I want a report sent to every board member once a month of what's happening. Moving forward, till we can get this situated. I don't know if I'm breaking rules, laws, or what. Ms. Landry, are there any other questions I need to ask you, that I need to ask for you?
Customer service, because our people are constantly being told, call
Wait,
Meritain.
can you come up, I'm sorry.
I'll do it for her.
Oh, you repeat
Yeah,
what she
I'll
says,
repeat it.
please? So
Ms.
everyone
Landry would
knows.
like to know customer service, the customer service issues and the people not getting, customer service.
Is that customer service with our staff?
With Meritain.
Meritain,
And I know that's probably out of your control, but you have contact with them.
right?
And so many of our members have been disconnected during conversations. They can't answer the questions. They go through 7 people. That's the kind of stuff, and you guys need to know that. I mean, and I'm not criticizing, I guess I am. That's not my intent. You need to be aware of what's going on so that you can make informed decisions.
For the record, Ms.
So
Landry
in some
is
way,
the-
y'all can work with them for better customer service, at least with our plan.
For the record, for the recording, Ms. Landry is stating that customer service is not very good. They're not, I guess they're not answering questions. They're not handling their business. And it is through Meritain that the problem exists. So that's something we'd like to see corrected. Or is there anybody here from Meritain or no? Well, you know what? We can put them sitting right there real quick. In fact, I want them here next month. I want somebody here from Meritain next month sitting right there and tell them I'm going to expect answers. because evidently I broke my retirees trust, and I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna get it back, but guess what? We're gonna make a change, because guess what we can do? We can change things. And Ms. Landry, I'm gonna get your trust back. I know I didn't lose it, but I'm gonna get it back, because now, I told you on the phone this was gonna be okay. We were told it was gonna be okay. Well, guess what? It's gonna be okay. Any other questions we can ask them?
I was just gonna add, you know, if we're gonna provide some monthly reporting to the board, we can request Meritain to provide customer service statistics as well. So, number of calls received, how many disconnects, you know, just, you know, data to that level, how many resolutions, you know, those kind of things. I do think, members get an opportunity to fill out surveys. So if there's information about surveys and the results, we can provide that data too.
Appreciate it. And one more thing before I give up the floor. Of course, the items, y'all can go to. No. Oh, then you want to stay? Okay, I'm gonna finish. Okay, of course, items on the budget for projects coming up go out for bid. Your professional services contract for HVAC was a dual contract between Bernhardt and Star. Bernhardt was not renewed, Star was, and it was a professional services contract. They handled service, the service of our units. Any new units put in, any of that stuff has to go to bid. They get it great. I doubt they even bid on it. They are a service company, and that's what that was all about. I don't know what the confusion is all over Facebook. You had two companies that were tested. One was renewed, one wasn't. That's all it was. So what you see on the budget as far as HVAC, whether it was Acadiana, Scott, Katie Middle, whatever it was, I saw them. For that to be replaced or repaired, that goes to public bid. It has to go to public bid. All of these projects go to public bid if they're within a threshold. So we're not doing anything different than we've done for decades. I mean, this budget, and as far as being on a consent agenda, any item can be spoken on, but the attorney was correct. It is being voted in global, so that makes it one item. If it was pulled, if any item is pulled, then you can speak on each item as it comes up. With this, you speak in global, and nothing was pulled. Because I guess, as far as I'm concerned, the budget looks good, the budget's balanced. The projects I wanted, or my district wants, not me, that my district wants is on there. Everything balances, everything's good. We've reviewed the budget. We're getting to the finalization part. We've gone over this. Any questions we've had, we've asked, we've talked to staff. District 5 is good. But I hope that answers your question as far as, yes, this stuff does go out to bid. And it is reported on. And you can see like the budget, the actual, Mr. Mouton can tell you what it is, the construction, it's on there every month. And it shows what's happening, what's been done. And to let each and every one of you know while I'm at it, help me out, Mr. Hidalgo, you remember what this is. What did we do? Or maybe Roddy, Louisiana checkbook? What's it?
Lafayette checkbook.com.
You go online and see every penny we spend. We're not wasting your money. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not. It's right there. You want transparency? It's there. Every penny we spend, and it all adds up at the end of the day. So, Madam President, I yield my position on the floor.
Thank you. Mr. Hidalgo, sorry.
Thank you. LafayetteCheckbook.com, guys. LafayetteCheckbook.com. It's really simple. We keep hearing transparency. How more transparent can you get? Every single penny that is spent of taxpayers' dollars is uploaded on LafayetteCheckbook.com within
Every 30 days.
30 days. So, again, we can keep on with the hashtag transparency all we want, but it's there. Insurance. I think Ms. Landry knows I have a great amount of respect for her, and I appreciate you speaking up. Mr. Lajay, we have 10,000 lives on our insurance plan. And while some trusts may be in question right now, I assure you, the vast majority is not having a problem with either Verity, Meritain, Aetna, or the process. And please remember, about 2 board meetings ago, we voted. We voted to change the process because we found 30 years later that Blue Cross was not processing claims as per our plan document. So as much as we want to blame change and we want to blame Meritain, and I have nothing for Meritain. Meritain came in with the best deal, and it is going to shake out that way. But this was an issue that was 30 years in the making that we had to correct, and now it's affecting our people. And so now, how much money did we spend with that 30-year mistake? So, you know, I don't want to sit here and pass blame around, but if we're going to talk about issues, then let's talk about the facts about the issues. And that's the fact about the issue, and that is with all due respect to anyone who's having an issue right now, and we need to make sure that Meritain speeds it up to fix the problems that they have not created. As far as the budget, this is a special budget meeting. These items are in global all the time. A regular board meeting I could understand, but and budget is a budget, guys, that we have to budget. We have to present a balanced budget. That is required by law. So we can't come in here and just not have a budget. The budget is still being fine-tuned. That's why we have 50 budget meetings between March and June in order to finalize this massive budget that we're required to operate. Sorry. And finally, the idea that we don't have committee meetings, the only committee that meets regularly is the insurance committee. The only committee that allows a member from the public to go up and write down any question they want and get their question answered in the committee is the insurance committee. So I take question to that idea that the insurance committee doesn't meet and doesn't allow comment. The insurance committee has more comment and questions than any other committee on this board.
I agree. All right, do we have any other board comment?
Oh, your favorite person on this end wants to
Yes.
make comments.
Mr. Bradshaw.
Thank you. Trish, I have a question for you. If you can come up, please. It's more of an LPSS question than I think a council question. Sorry if I didn't make y'all play musical chairs. We don't have a good, apparently we don't have a chair budget. Can we add a chair budget? No? Okay. Trish. Okay, so someone called Meritain and they're getting the runaround. Can they call the insurance department to do something with Meritain? Because at the end, the buck stops with us at the end of the day. They're just administrating the plan. It's still our plan, though.
Yes, we suggest that they do. We want them to call LPSS Insurance. Here would be my suggestions. Make sure that you're noting the date that you're calling, the time that you're calling. I'm gonna need a telephone number that you're calling from so that they can pull the call record. As many details as you can provide me, then I can actually have them research the phone call, see if there's coaching involved, perhaps something was stated incorrectly, something was done incorrectly. Then we can go back to Meritain. They can work that process through, and we can make sure that the member gets what they need based on calling Meritain. We can work through the process with them, but as many details as they know, the better. Definitely connect with LPSS.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's one
Okay.
question.
All right.
The other thing I just want to point out is this is just for us to put the budget up for public view. So like the final adoption is not for the 30 days. Anthony, 30 days? Yeah, 30 days. Shaking his head. 30 days. So this is not a final adoption of the budget. I've been going over the budget numbers like I normally do, and adding them up. And I mean, at the end of the day, we got a balanced budget at the end of the day. Like that's our game plan. Mr. Mouton, I hate to put you on the spot. What is our total amounts of money that we're paying to charter schools this year? Do you know that number? You don't have to be to the penny, but
Yeah, you are putting me on the spot.
I told you I wouldn't do it.
I don't recall the exact number, but I think it's over 60 million for sure.
Over 60 million? Okay. 63, 60, all right, somewhere on there. All right, just curious. That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, yes, Ms. LeBeau?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Landry, for coming up. Just to remind everybody, if you do have an issue, we also have email addresses out to the public. If you have a question about the budget, I've had some people email me. We can walk you through it. As you can see from our budget, we have state funds, grant funds. We've had some nonprofit donations. We have dedicated funds. We have non-dedicated funds. We have recurring funds. We have one-time monies. Some things can be bonded out, some things can't. So there's lots of questions. It's a very complicated process. So if you don't understand where the money goes or why the money goes or why this money is dedicated and that money's not dedicated, feel free to email. This is not a simple process. And Mr. Mouton and your staff, you work magic with making it work, but the government money is never a simple process. So you can't just say, oh, they have all this money and they can allocate. Some things can't go to salary, some things can go to salary, some things can't go to building, some things, so it's not a simple process. Also for transparency, you can also look on louisianacheckbook.com and you can see every dollar that's given from the state to us. And then again, LafayetteCheckbook.com, you can see every dollar that we spend. So transparency is important. You can also see in there what monies we have to give to, as you said, charter and non-public schools. Non-public schools get transportation, books, sped services, et cetera. So we have to also put that money in our budget and send it out. So not all of this money goes to the public school system in front of you. Some of it goes to non-public and some of it goes to charter. So again, feel free to email with questions. As Roddy said, we have 30 days. So there's not a stupid question because I ask a lot of stupid questions. But this is not an easy process. And there's not one type of money. And it's not one type of use for that money. So just feel free to ask questions.
All right, thank you. Do we have any further board comment? Okay, I just wanted to mention that Gallagher does send a report every month. And Superintendent, does that report go to you? Can you explain that report, please?
Trish, does that go to you guys, the report?
Ma'am, it goes to the board insurance committee. Gallagher presents a presentation every single month when we have a meeting. So it's listed on board docs, just like I mentioned the old name, I'm sorry. Community, it's now named Community, but the presentation is listed there.
Thank you. Do we have any further board comment? All right, seeing none, I call for the vote.
Mr. Hidalgo?
Yes.
Mr. Bergeron?
Yes.
Mr. Edmond? Yes. Mr. Lachele?
Yes.
Ms. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Lejeune?
Yes.
Mr. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. LeBoux?
Yes.
8 for, none against. Motion passes.
Thank you. No items were pulled and this meeting is adjourned.